We are live. How's it going, guys? Jennifer with excitement today. And another video of sports talk. We have two surprising guests. A third one will be joining in the second video later today. So, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Martin, or King Mustard 99. If you watch this channel, you know me.
You should know who I am. Not too common on here, but I'm Mason, Pokeball or Mace for gamer tag if you need to. But
In today's video, we're going to talk about why the Yankees are overrated. And yes, a lot of you probably will probably put them down in the comments and saying that the Yankees are not overrated. You're just saying that because you're a Twins fan. All right, prove this to me. If they're not overrated, then how come they cannot pass the ALCS? The last time they went to the World Series since 2009. Explain that one to me. So we're gonna get some things going with the 2010 season. K Mustard, would you like to talk about their 2010 season?
Sure. Could you get rid of your thing on your screen?
Oh yeah,
No, like the got it thing. Click got it. I gotta see the power. I gotta see the sheet. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was on my screen. Never mind, my bad. Anywhom, second 95 wins, 67 losses, second in AL East. I think behind Tampa? Question mark. I think either Tampa or Boston. Toronto and Baltimore weren't very good back then.
oh
One ALDS. Um, let's see, and then what happened was 2010 when they won the World Series, or
no,
was that 09?
2009 was the last time they won World Series and made it to the World Series.
Ah, okay. I got you. I got you. Oh,
Yes.
oh, they lost to Texas. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that
And
that Texas
Texas,
team was really good
and
when they
I
had
think
like
that,
Adrian Beltre and Elvis
oh
Andrus
yeah,
and like all those dudes.
and I think the Texans lost to the Giants that year in the World Series.
Mhm.
Yes, but that was they still had like all their big people like Jeter, A-Rod, Teixeira, and like CC
Beltron, I
Sabathia,
think.
Mariano Rivera didn't retire until like 2013, I think. So they
Yes.
still had him.
Yep.
Yeah, I really think for what they have in store, they for as high as a market of a team that they can produce, they could grab anyone they want.
Hmm.
And it doesn't seem to be operating as designed on there because obviously from history and stuff, they haven't made it anywhere past that ALCS.
Hmm.
Yeah, and proves it like you do not have to be a big market team to go to the World Series and win it all. You could be a small market team to go a long ways away and win it all. Like the great Billy B said, there are rich teams, there are poor teams, there's 50 feet of crap, and there's us. And that tells it to Oakland A's. I know we get off topic here, but they proved everybody wrong that year.
Hmm.
Even though they lost in 5 games to the Twins, but going to worst at first is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And winning like go back to the Yankees, like yes, they beat the Twins in 3 games and 12 out of 10. And then 12 to 11, they lost in 6 games to Texas, but the following year they can get out the first round to the Tigers. Like
Hmm.
it shows like every single year when they go far, they always lose in the first round usually.
And it seems like to be a simple pattern the last 2 or 3 years that they've been having. Um, they'll start really hot. They'll be the best team in baseball record wise. They'll be proving that they're all bats and they're all pitching is all working out. But after that All-Star break, it seems like they take a dive every single time and then
Yeah.
get off on the wrong course. I think 2 years ago they were a little different where they started off slow and then had to pick their pace back up. But it's been kind of a roller coaster for them as far as staying consistent all season long. And I think a big part of it is they don't. Yes, they got Anthony Rizzo during the trade deadline last year,
and they just signed him for 2 more years, I believe, today.
They were going through that process of keeping the same team going in the same market. Well, they're kind of like the Twins if you kind of think of it, because they'll end up. They'll end up not getting pitched.
Yeah, and like
prove on it, and Nestor Cortez. They have so many young talent on there for them to be a proven pitching squad, but I don't even know if it's the coaching's fault or the player morale, or I don't know.
A mixture of everything. Like if you look at the 2010, 2022 season, the New York Yankees made the playoffs sort of 10 times. They missed it 3 times in 4 years. That was expanded on 2013 and 2016. And they won the division 4 times in that expand as well. So, and basically they have no excuse because they had the talent all those years. Obviously, they're getting up in age, but they have no excuse to still make a run in the playoffs. But saying that from a transfer perspective, that's pretty pathetic. We know we're gonna beat you one of these days in the playoffs. It's gonna happen. And that, let's go to that 2020 that COVID year. They were second in the AL East, but lost to Boston 4 games. So that year was up for grabs. Basically, it was between the Rays and the Dodgers that year. Pokemon Mason knows exactly what happened because we were up at Bemidji. That was game 5?
Yep.
That outfield put the ball, and now we're starting to laugh. Something like that, you remember, something like that, against the, that was a gap basically for the Rays. And he second guesses of going in the home. He went back on the way back to third, scrubs back to 3 and go to home. That was probably one of the best baseballs in postseason history. Honestly.
I think it's such a positive thing to see that big market teams cannot go far in the playoffs. It's a different breed when it comes into that actual playing style. And you look at big markets like Dodgers and Yankees, and there's a few others that are out there, but to have one World Series championship between those two teams, it's very stunning. Because you look at all the aces that they have, you have all that talent that's based off there. It's such a big change because you're seeing all these upsets happen. It's why we love stuff like in the NCAA for March Madness. It's why we have other college football games where we see big upsets happen. Well,
you do every single week you do.
Yep. You see it every time, and it's kind of nice to see. Yes, baseball is a sport that you cannot predict to happen. But at the same time, you're seeing these different leagues out here that are changing so much. That's why that's why I love the game of baseball. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, and I think some of it might just be coaching. I'll have to double check how long they've had Aaron Boone, but whether or not he's really the right guy for the job. and a lot of their big players are kind of getting up there in age.
Oh yes.
Um, and I think a lot of their main talent, they don't have a great farm system, I think, and a lot of people
Oh
like
no.
TJ LeMahieu, Matt Carpenter, Anthony Rizzo, Josh Donaldson. Aaron Judge is like 30, 31, so that's not too bad. But like a lot of these people, this is kind of like their second or third team, and they're still trying to play at a
Yep.
competitive level.
Yep. And I'm gonna make a
And
prediction here. I'm gonna make a prediction here. I like to tie out to that. I predict that Aaron Judge will not re-sign with the Yankees. He's going to go to a different brain market team, and like maybe like a team that's going to help them a lot. He's going to go up to the West Coast, a rival West Coast team, either to the Giants or to the Dodgers.
I would like to see him in a Seattle uniform.
That'd be kind of cool with Julio Rodriguez. I mean, I want to see that Seattle team. Like, I did not want to see Julio Rodriguez first year in the league. This is his first year in the league, right?
Yep, he was
he's a rookie.
Right. I do not want to see what they did exactly. They were Shiro Suzuki, first year in the league, rookie of the year, 2001, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then have Seattle just go downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the biggest, not the biggest bust of the prospects in franchise history. You don't want that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then going back to this, in 17 series in the postseason, the Yankees are 7-10. They won 7 series wins. They lost 10 series wins with a grand total of in the ALDS, the ALWC, AL wildcard, they're going to the ALDS, the division series. They're 20-15, and their kryptonite is the ALCS. They're 7-20. And then most of the losses, guess who?
Mm.
The Astros, 5-13.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And of course, the only can win is to play the Twins in the playoffs. That's the only reason why they can win. I mean, if you play the Twins 100 times in the postseason, you're not beating them 100 times.
No, but
You might beat us like 44, 45, but wouldn't beat you most majority of them.
the Twins just have a curse of their own. Just get out of this stuff. But I mean, I still say it like you were saying, Joe. It's not really much of a way to work around when you have all that boatload of money just to spend on these guys. If they're a high market team, then you would think that they would win something, but they still have that championship edge to their names, which kind of bugs me because let's face it, 13 years is not really that great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and back in 2009, after they won the World Series, I told everyone, watch, the Yankees are not going to win the World Series in a very long time because they think they can win based on talent alone. They know how to work around the talent. Looking out, win 2022, and they look at it. They have not won another championship.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you look at where they face the AL East in their own division, they're 6-9. They're 17-11, and they're 8-17 in the AL West. And in that span between 12-10, 12-22, that's not that good.
Yeah.
No.
They only can win in the play, guess who? The AL Central. But if they play the AL Central now, like next year, like let's say the division round in the ALCS or in the wild card, like let's say they played a team like 3 series in a row, it's gonna be very tough for them. Because I think because you gotta prove yourself that you're capable of beating teams, the same teams. Like when I look at this number against the Twins 7-0, I look at it doesn't mean nothing. Because it's even tougher each time you play them in the playoffs when they not beat you yet.
Mhm.
Because you do not have that mentality. Okay, the Twins beat us the first 2 games in the best out of 5. What we should do?
And
And
I think I think some teams are just or some teams or some players are just worse in the playoffs too
yeah,
than in the regular season. Kind of like Peyton Manning, as good as he was in the regular season, did not perform the greatest in the postseason over his career, as
Mhm.
opposed to like someone the opposite, Joe Flacco, who's not very good in the regular season or just kind of above average, but had a couple, amazing playoff games. But when
yeah,
you look at the playoffs this year, you need your good players to be good. Garrett Cole, 2.95 ERA over 18 innings, not bad. But Nestor Cortez and Luis Severino, almost close up to 5 ERAs. I mean, those are some of your high-end starters that you're paying a lot of money and that you can expect
yeah.
can get wins.
I forgot to
Mhm.
look. I forgot to look into this. But what the Yankees will look was like based on their stats this past season. What were the base stats in their chosen at this past season as a pitching and their hitting? What their rank? What was their rank?
Postseason rank? Or like
Both
or like their
postseason
team
and regular
batting average, you
season.
mean?
Yes,
For regular season?
yes.
Let's check. I will look that up. I mean, in the regular season, I feel like maybe not so much batting average, but definitely like homers and stuff like that. They'd be
Yeah.
pretty high.
Mhm.
Uh, let's
Yeah, and
see.
I was watching the championship series between the Yankees and Houston, like which a very boring series, I think. Like I think the Yankees like they forgot the fundamentals. Like they forgot how to pitch, they forgot how to hit, and they forgot to do the rest of the stuff until it's too late.
I found
Mhm.
it interesting how bad Judge played down the stretch before the postseason started, and it continued into the postseason. But it just seemed like he hang his head low and stuff.
Mhm.
I'd be amazed by the amount of people that try to go through these actual playoff runs because there's so many that will outperform anyone else, and they're just trying to make a name for themselves for the future. Like
Mhm.
Brent Phillips, for example, he's really
Wade
a
Phillips,
known
yep,
guy to be a starter.
yep,
He
and
went,
then yep,
he had game winning hit. He took his time and he actually played into the biggest atmosphere of a lifetime, and he didn't
Mhm.
fail. Guy was a career 100 or I think 63 a .063 batting average before going in,
yeah.
and the guy just started to play well. You think all these other players would want something more of a bigger paycheck, but I kind of think it kind of plays into the fact like, oh, I'm already getting paid so and so, so they might have that in their mindset where they don't have to worry about underperforming because they're already getting paid for that stuff.
And let's go back and go back. You look at the between the 1995 to 2009 season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's the best team in baseball at that time that was the team to beat?
Oh, probably Braves. Like
The team
late
in the 90s.
'90s
The
was
team in the
yeah
90s. Yep.
Braves, and then Seattle for maybe like a year when they
95.
won the
Yep.
league and wins. And then I mean the Yankees did win a couple championships during that time too. So it was kind of Braves, Yankees, Diamondbacks for like a year.
And I think that was that 1995 when Edgar Martinez hit a game winning hit to left field and that Gravy scored from first to home against the
I do not
Yankees.
remember.
It was 90,
No,
94.
no, I thought it was later than that.
we'll have to look it up, but checked it out, and this year in regular season, the Yankees were 15th in batting average. They were third in ERA, and then on base percentage, another Joe, you love Moneyball. That's a very important metric.
Yep.
They were fifth in that, and then slugging percentage, they were fourth. So they weren't getting a whole lot of hits, but when they did get hits, partially because of, Yankee Stadium being hitter friendly and stuff like that,
Yep.
they got like doubles, triples, and homers.
And a lot of
Um,
probably
and it kind of makes more sense in the playoffs if, you have the third best ERA, but the 15th best average. If you're not getting too many hits, and they have a good on base percentage, but they really need their pitching to do good to kind of make up for their average,
yep.
batting average. And because that was pretty subpar from everyone not named Garrett Cole, or every starter not named Garrett Cole, in the playoffs, you can kind of see how that kind of fell apart
Yeah.
for them this year.
So yeah, it was 1995 with Edgar Martinez hit a walk-off hit against the Yankees in the ALDS. But anyways, like if you look from 1995 2009, you have many good teams. You had the team in the 90s, the Braves. The Twins won the World Series in 91. But anyways, you had the team in the 90s. You had the Yankees. I'm going to count the 12-2 and 12-6 Oakland Athletics. I would count that 12-2, 3 and 4 Minnesota Twins, especially the 12-2 season, because that was the year that the Twins was about to lose the team, about to move out. They want to MLB wanted to buy them out.
Yeah.
And the Twins that you know what's we're gonna prove you wrong that we can bring more people, a lot more people in. Like, so if you really look at it, there's multiple teams that was the team to beat, but the most probably one everybody wants to beat the Yankees. That was probably the number one goal.
Yes.
And then I think after losing to the after playing a 3-0 lead, three games to 0 lead to Boston Red Sox in 2004, you deserve to lose that series. And you deserve to have not win a World Series or win one and then not win another one like another 30 or 40 years after you win one. You deserve that because of that. And we are running time showing here anyways. But anyways, any last thoughts?
I think they need to improve their farm system, get better coaching, and if they want to, remedy a lot of their playoff faults down the stretch, because it's the regular season kind of isn't an issue. It might be in a couple years just because a lot of their main people are getting old, but get some people with playoff experience, get some better relievers, and maybe make some coaching changes.
Yes, I think Aaron Boone will get fired within the next 3 years.
I'm going to go with next year.
Next year?
I can definitely see that. As far as the take goes and everything, him being on the hot seat is such a big factor on there because he supports his team, but he does it in the way only to care for himself, not for other leagues. I think his player personnel is not really there for that group. He's really shown what it could be like with Aaron Judge in the lineup, but when that group does tend to get older, it's going to be a long run. I'm so glad that the Twins got rid of Josh Donaldson to them because that I do not want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that's going to set them back for the future because anything else that goes of it could be in that process, but he's not really performing the way he's going to need that to do. But
even though we got Jerry Oshella and Gary Sanchez, I think Sanchez will be gone by the start of the season.
That's fair.
I think the Twins should keep Oshella. They need a shortstop. I don't know if they're gonna bring Krauscore back because he opted out his contract. Because he wants to come back, but he's hoping that Twins give him like a contract, and they're gonna give Royce Lewis more time to come back. Like, I don't want to be this sort of person, but I think having seen that Royce Lewis to work a different position and have him come back up and get hurt right away, like I think I think the Twins. This was a huge mistake, and then I believe that this mistake cost them making it to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have young guys like Jose Miranda, Royce Lewis, Buxton, Krylov, Luis Arise.
Mm-hmm.
having a farm system is such a huge thing with that, and I don't think the Yankees have it right
Austin
now.
Martin. It's like we're
Yep.
set for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are gonna get a couple more started pitchers back, and we're gonna prove everybody wrong. Like we're all for real. That is, it's all year to try to make a good run, even though we made the playoffs and losing like 4 or 5 games in ALDS. Let's say I'm sorry to say this, but to the Yankees, we beat them twice. If we beat them at least one game next year in the playoffs, I'll be happy. If we play them in the playoffs. It's gonna set the tone for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will wrap up today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm JF4.
I'm King Monster 99.
And I'm Pokeballer Mace.
And stay tuned for our next video where we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills game. We're gonna have another special guest joining for that one. That's gonna be a blast. So stay tuned for that.